Dun, 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 dun. Hey, we're live. What's up?
Yeah,
Sup?
not much. Today we're going to talk about love. Whew, love.
True love is what brings us together today. Marriage. Well, and marriage done in a really odd way, in my estimation. I know it. It's what we're going to talk about is like customary in some cultures, but not here.
Well, when I first saw the ad for this, I'm sitting there going, I love my parents. Don't get me wrong. Love them. But no way on God's green earth would I allow them to pick out the person I'm going to spend the rest of my life with.
Did I ever tell you that after my mom knew I was dating who is now my husband, she was still trying to give my phone number to a doctor in New York City because he liked baseball?
Because baseball is life.
Like, I understand I work for Major League Baseball right now, but why are you giving my phone number to random men? That's disconcerting.
Right.
I already found a man. I'm good.
That is kind of weird, yeah. No, it's just when I was younger, my dad, number one, set me up on a date, and I went out one date with this guy, and there's a reason he didn't get a call back. But my dad was constantly trying to set me up with these other people, and it's like, my dad's not setting me up with guys that are compatible with me. He's setting me up with guys that are compatible for him. The ones that, guys that he likes and he would like to hang out with, and that kind of stuff. I'm like, that's not me.
No, I don't think. I understand that my parents had my best interest. Well, my mother had my best interests at heart in this. However, number one, he lived in New York City. I did not. Number two, she didn't know it at the time that she was giving my phone number out to random men. But my husband, my now husband, at the time, he and I had already decided that we were going to get married. She didn't know that yet. So that was weird. Like, odd, strange behavior. So I'm concerned that had this show existed back in the day, that I would have been on it.
Oh, most likely. Oh my goodness. Just knowing what I know about your mom, I'm pretty sure, yeah, you would have been on it.
And that's terrifying because I really like my life right now.
Well, okay, disclaimer, I haven't watched an episode. I really, because I can't bring myself to it. So I'm pretty much going off the promos, and it's basically people that in like the late 20s, early 30s, they have had a hard time finding somebody. So they're like, well, we'll leave it to mom and dad. And there's been a couple times that the person that the parents picked hasn't shown up to the wedding. There was one woman, she was chosen by this guy's parents to marry him, and she didn't tell her family about it. I'm like, because, okay, here's the thing. Yeah, I know I am not married, and there's a reason for it. Marriage is such a big commitment. I am not one of those that goes into that kind of a commitment half-heartedly, because I believe it is a covenant between you, your spouse, and God, and there's a lot behind it. So I just don't want to just throw it out there to be married for married's sake. I take it very seriously. So that's why this show, and there's the other one, Married at First Sight, that I don't get why, because marriage is until death do you part, and I'm not a big fan of divorce. It's costly, it's ugly, and good Lord, why would you do that to yourself?
I don't know. I watched 4 friends go through a divorce at the same time. And a couple of them were amicable. Things went okay. One was not and is still dragging, and it's horrible and awful and has basically destroyed my girlfriend, which is terrible and absolutely just like, it's terrible. And shows like this promote divorce.
Oh yeah.
They don't promote marriage. Marriage is okay. When I got married, when I made the decision to get married, I was 24. Yeah. I got married just shy. Actually, I was 23. I got married just shy of my 25th birthday. Now, here's I'm going to lay a little, I'm sure I've said this before, but I'm going to lay a little science on you guys. The reasoning center in your brain, the one that tells you, look around the corners, maybe you shouldn't do that, that doesn't fully develop in most people until you're around 25. Okay, which means that you probably shouldn't make the decision to get married before you're 25. So I probably didn't make the wisest choice at the time. I probably didn't see around every corner when I decided to marry my husband and when he decided to marry me. And he's younger than me, so there you go. And when we got married, I wasn't a believer. So that's kind of huge in the story, because to me, marriage was just, hey, you're my roommate for life. Yay. We have benefits. Woohoo. It didn't occur. I was in love with him, but it didn't occur to me that at the time that would include mortgage and children and buying cars and deciding, do we need to put new tires on the car yet? Can that wait? Like, these are things that I didn't consider when I decided to marry my husband. Now, have been very fortunate in that I unknowingly married my best friend. Anybody who sees us together knows we are best friends, and we're sickeningly sweet, and we're like crazy, stupid in love with each other, even after all these years. But
by the way, it is true. I'm just going to throw that out there. I've witnessed it. It's yeah. You do really want to gag yourself with a spoon.
And you know what? I won't apologize for it, because that is how marriage should be. I'm sorry, it just should.
No, here's the thing. I'm with you. If I could find a guy that I'm like that with, I'd be the same way. So it's just when you're around it, it's one of those sickeningly sweet people. Like, oh my goodness, it's like everything's sweet. Like, yeah.
We're
diabetic coma by the time you're done. 5 minutes in, it's like, okay, I need insulin.
Stop, you two. Anyway, and we don't even do a lot of PDAs. Like, it's not even that. It's just how we interact with each other, and we get each other's humor, and we make each other laugh, and we work well as a team. But that developed over time, and it started when I met him, which was long before we got married. So this concept of married at first sight is terrifying to me. You have absolutely no basis on who this person is. Like, what if you're a control freak and neat freak and they're like, whatever? You can't make that work. I'm sorry, you can't. It doesn't, no. There has to be compromise on one or the other parts. And when you enter into this contract, and it is a contract of being with each other, I think having parents set you up, or being married without knowing the person just sets you up for failure. It sets you up for divorce. And that's not what we need to be promoting in life right now. I want my daughters to know that they can wait, that it's okay to wait to get married, that actually that's probably the wiser choice, because their prospective mates will mature. They will be able to develop a friendship, which is where it should start, and get to really know each other before you make that commitment to bond your lives together, because that's what you're doing, is bonding your life together. I'm bound to this man. And it's not a horrible thing. I love it. But there are sacrifices that you have to make, and some people won't make those sacrifices. Like when we moved here to Las Vegas, I gave up my dream job. My absolute 100%, I cry about it to this day, dream job. But it was a sacrifice I had to make because it made better sense for our family, for my husband to pursue his dream job, not me. And maybe someday when I retire, I'll be able to do my dream job. Doubtful, because we're probably going to move to Texas, and my dream job isn't in Texas. So, but it's fine. It really is. I really am okay with it. It's really hard, because whenever I go to the Disney parks and then I see the people doing my dream job, I die inside a little bit. And it was worse because the last time I went to Disney World, I saw a guy that was doing my dream job, and he greeted me, and I said, "Hey, you are doing my dream job." And he said, "That's funny, I'm doing my dream job too." And we had this little exchange, and I said, "Oh, that's really cool. I'm glad that you're, happy with what you're doing." He goes, "Yeah, actually, I was an electrical engineer in New York City and hated my job. So I quit, sold my house, moved down here, and I've never been happier." Literally, we had a 30-second conversation, and I know more about this man than I know about a lot of people.
I love those kind of conversations.
It was fabulous. But those are the sacrifices that you have to make in a marriage. And I'm not quite sure that meeting your spouse when they walk down the aisle sets you up for success in having to make those decisions.
Well, right. I mean, because as we were discussing earlier, in some cultures, they have like the arranged marriage type thing. But it's a cultural thing. Mm-hmm. The society is set up for that. And it's usually the man that's the breadwinner in that, in that situation. So the woman it's not so much of a sacrifice, because the woman's going to be, Susie homemaker, and she's going to raise the kids, and the man's going to go out and work, because that's usually right. How it goes. We're not set up like that in this society. Unless you come from that cultural background where that's instilled in you from birth, that this is how life is going to go for you. It's not set up for that. Here, we're the land of the free. We're the land of opportunity. And so to meet somebody and you're not instilled with, okay, these are the sacrifices you're going to have to make because this is what's going to happen, it's going to be an explosion. Because there's so many different things, because in an arranged marriage, if you are going into it with arranged marriage in this kind of society and you don't know, somebody's going to be depressed. Mm-hmm. They're going to be sacrificing too much, or they're going to have to go against their personality traits. I've even seen love marriages that, so one person is kind of depressed because, well, they love their spouse, there's personality differences, because like one spouse is really outgoing and wants to go out and meet people and wants to party all the time, and the other person's like, I just want to stay home, I don't want to go out. And so there's that friction. And if you don't know that person, like that's the personality trait you're marrying into, that's going to cause a lot of conflict down the road.
It does. That's actually one of my girlfriends who got divorced. That's actually what happened. she was very go, 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 wanted to be going and doing something all the time. And the man she was married to well, she stayed home and took care of the kids, and he worked all the time. So when he got home from work, he didn't want to go, go, go. He wanted to kick up and watch sports or have dinner and just chill. And that's not what she wanted. And after several years, it kind of wore their marriage down. And it was horrible. And I mean, I think both of them are ultimately maybe happier apart from each other. But I don't know. I mean, my husband and I are a little bit different in that respect, is that he is an outdoorsy, like, he'd be happy hiking wherever and plopping a sleeping bag down wherever and just sleeping. I need a bed. I like hotels.
I like having a place. I like a place to pee. I like to sit on a porcelain throne to pee.
I enjoy those things too. Mm-hmm.
I have a thing about squatting. Only in dire situations. I mean, I've done it before, but it was an emergency situation.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that. And so that's kind of a friction with my husband and I, but we've come to an agreement. The agreement is this. If we are to take a large family trip where camping is involved, we will rent an RV and bring along a tent.
There you go.
I will stay in the RV with my daughters, and he and my son can take the tent and pitch it wherever they would like and enjoy sleeping outside. I will stay inside where there is a mattress and a bathroom. These are things I enjoy. It's not ideal, but it allows both of us to enjoy the things that we enjoy. But like when I travel and we stay at a hotel, I don't have to have a fancy hotel.
No.
Do I have a bed and a bathroom? I'm good. I don't really care if there's a pool.
And if it's bed bug free, even better.
Exactly. Yes, I would prefer it critter free. That would be my preference. But like, I don't need to spend a lot of money. We're not fancy schmancy people. I don't need to stay at the Hyatt. I don't need to stay at Four Seasons. These are not things I need to do. But I do like to have a central base. I like to have a hotel room. And that might seem trivial to people, but oh my goodness, when you're in a marriage and you're trying to make travel arrangements, ooh, if you have a prima donna that's half of your partnership and you don't in the other half, you are going to have problems traveling. You just are. Mm-hmm. I hate to break it to you, but those are things to consider. And if you're meeting your spouse for the first time because they're walking down the aisle, you won't know that. You won't. It's like Danger Will Robinson danger. It's and we have such a high divorce rate in this country. It's not quite as high as people think it is, but we do have a high divorce rate in this country. And it has to do with there's so many factors with that, but the biggest one to me, in my opinion, is a God factor. Like, people aren't in tune. They don't understand that this is a covenant with your spouse and with God. If you don't grasp that concept, then you go into marriage thinking, well, if it doesn't work out, I can always get a divorce.
Right. And like I said, I just have a thing with divorce. I mean, I have friends and family that have gone through divorce, and sometimes it's for the best. I mean, don't get me wrong, but they weren't going into the marriages with the clearest intentions. One of my favorite rules of marriage, and when I was younger, I didn't quite understand it. Now that I'm older, Because when I was younger, my brother's always like, wait till you're 30 to get married because you're stupid in your 20s. Wait till you're 30. But the reason he said that is because one of the marriage rules I heard is wait a year. Know the person a year before you marry them. That way you get to see how they act in every season. You get to see how everything affects them. You'll get to know them because holidays affect people differently. Weather affects people differently. Like weather affects me like you would not believe. If you've been around me for like the last 2 weeks, you will understand because the weather up here has been crazy. Like it's like below 20. Now it's in the 40s. And now we're going to go to snow and ice. And then we're going to go to everything melts. And then it's all over the place. And I have the biggest headaches. And it hurts. And I'm tired. My muscles ache. Everything is because the weather, Mother Nature needs to take her lithium is what it is. The bitch be cray cray. She needs to just tone it. But it's one of those things. If you know somebody for a year and you get to see them through all that, you'll have a better understanding going into that marriage because marriage is a lifetime commitment, but we're talking like a tattoo commitment level here. It's not easy to remove because even if you're divorced, you're still going to have some kind of a presence there. It's never 100% removed. You know, it's a huge commitment. Wait a year to, get to know the person better.
Yeah, I mean,
unless you're like in your 90s, you may not have a year to wait.
And then maybe just get married. It's fine. It's all good. You've lived, But like my husband and I, okay, we are, I won't say we're the exception to the rule of that, but 3 weeks after we started dating, we kind of looked at each other and went, yeah, this is where we're at. And it wasn't anything that I can pinpoint directly that, I don't know. I think I knew he was a keeper when shortly after we started dating, I threw my back out for the first time. And like bad, like I was writhing on the floor in pain. And he didn't even miss a beat. He came and got me. He took me to the emergency room. He stayed with me while the doctors took care of me. He helped me get my medication. And then I took my medication and then his car didn't start. So then his dad had to come and help us, and I was all hopped up on drugs, which was awesome. So he had to walk me up to my apartment because I lived on the second floor. He actually took my apartment keys from me, and he would call me and make sure that I took my medication and that I was staying on my schedule that I needed to stay on. And he did this outside of work, like everything, like he took care of me. He made sure I had food. He made sure I was protected. He wouldn't let me come down the stairs to get him in the door. Like I said, he took my keys. And I think once I got out of my drug fog, because they had me on all kinds of fun medication, it occurred to me that this guy was a keeper because he knew me, 2.5 weeks, and he took care of me like I was the most precious person on the planet. So that kind of solidified things with me because you actually learn a lot about somebody's character when you're not feeling well. Do they take care of you or not?
Right. No, here's the thing. Yeah. There's going to be exceptions to every rule. My sister-in-law's parents knew each other for 2 weeks and got married. I think they were married for at least 50 years. I would have to double check. But they had 2 kids. They were married up until he passed away.
Wow. That's awesome.
Right. So, it's not one of those hard, fast rules, but it's one of those really awesome guidelines to help. Because when you're young, you don't make the best decisions. Hence why there's a lot of kids out there with huge gauges face tattoos going, why won't anybody hire me? You look like that.
My husband and I, even though we knew we were getting married within 3 weeks of really dating each other, we did not make it official for 6 months. And we did not get married for another year after that. And we lived together. So which, now that I'm a believer, like, I hate that. I hate that he and I live together. I really wish that we had lived separately, that I had been able to have my own apartment, and I don't know. It's stupid, but that's kind of how I feel. But I love that we live together because we really got to know each other. We got to understand who does what responsibilities. Like, I don't cook. I don't know if you know this, but I'm not a cook. My husband right now is making bacon explosion.
I know, I'm completely jealous.
I'm so excited. I can't wait. So he's the cook. My crock pot is my savior because I can throw stuff in there, turn it on, and all of a sudden I have food.
Well, all of a sudden, it's usually a couple hours. I mean,
well, in my world, but like, I'm not a very clean person. I'm just not. I don't care if there's piles of clothes on the floor. That doesn't bother me. I know that I'll get it taken care of eventually. His side of the room is quite organized. Mine is not.
No, your husband, because when I stayed at your place, because of my time schedule, I was up when he was coming home.
Right.
First thing he does, here's the thing, people. He will come in the door, and he goes to the kitchen, to get himself, some water, whatnot. And while he walks through, and he organizes, like, not even in like a trance-like state, just making sure everything is in its set place. And I completely threw him off because I had my 12-pack of Coke up there. And it was throwing him off. Didn't know where to put it because there was no spot for it.
Yeah, he's pretty organized, and I'm kind of not. I'm more loosey-goosey. But I know what annoys him, so I try not to be a pack rat in the living room. I have a... Sparkles has seen it. I have a table that I rarely see the top of because it has everything. And it's right next to my spot on the couch. And I have everything. Bills, important things from school, coupons for pizza. All of it is right there on the table. And I know where it is. Like, if you ask me, I can tell you approximately how deep in the pile the piece of paper that you're looking for is. Unfortunately, sometimes that spreads. Like, I'll bring my shoes out and I'll forget to, because I have a ridiculous amount of shoes. And so I'll wear them and I'll take them off on my spot on the couch. And then all of a sudden there's this huge pile of shoes that's sitting there. So about once a month, I will clean that up because I know it totally annoys him. And that's just a respect thing that you do for your spouse. If your spouse is OCD a little bit, then you try to cater to that as much as humanly possible. I am not OCD at all. Like, I do my laundry, I'm not an unclean, unkempt person, obviously. I take pride in my appearance, but if you saw my bedroom, the floor is hard to find on my side of the room.
Right. Now, see, I have a interesting problem. I have OCD but ADD at the same time. where I want to get things cleaned up, but I get distracted easily by what I find while I'm cleaning, and then I forget to finish cleaning.
Right. Yes.
Yeah. The other day I was trying to clean and I found this book that I made in third grade. So I sat down and started reading. What did I think about when I was in third grade? And I found out I was an exceptional liar. In third grade. Because I said, what are your favorite places? I'm like Cedar Point, Deer Park, Funland, and Great America. I've only been to Deer Park, Funland. I didn't go to Cedar Point for like 5 more years, and I didn't go to Great America for 15 more years after that. So it's like, I'm like naming just theme parks because they have rides. Never been. I'm amazed Walt Disney World didn't make it on the list because I've never been to Disney World. But I'm sitting there going, holy crap, I lied. I lied to myself.
You need to come to Disney World with me.
Okay. Tell you what,
there's a plan. No, I'm a theme park junkie. I turned my husband into a theme park junkie as well. He enjoys theme park rides, but until he met me, he had never been to Walt Disney World. I think conservatively, he's been to Walt Disney World about 15 times since he met me. Most of that was before we had children, too, because I happened to work for the Disney stores, and I could bring him with me for free. We had free hotel because my parents had the vacation club, and it was just the two of us. We had dual income, no kids. We were dinks. It was awesome. And a really cheap apartment. So we had all this expendable cash. Oh, by the way, if you're watching this show and you fall into that category where you have a very cheap place to live and you have no kids and you have a dual income, save your money. Put it away. You don't need to dress in high fashion. You don't need the Michael Kors purse. You don't. I swear, you don't need it. You don't need the Prada shoes, and you don't need the, what's the jeans, the Lucky jeans and the 700.
Lucky 7 and True Religion.
Yeah, whatever. You don't need those. Levi's will do you just fine. Save your money, because if we had actually saved our money instead of spent it, we probably could have bought a house outright when we were ready to buy a house. And that's not a joke. Okay, so that's my little piece of information to you. But I turned my husband into a Walt Disney World freakazoid because we went there so often. I actually planned and executed a trip to Walt Disney World for the sole purpose to get a picture with Tigger to put in a picture frame that I had gotten from his brother for my birthday. Not kidding. That was the only purpose to the trip.
Yeah, I can't say I've done anything like that. So
I'm weird. I'm weird that way. I will spend my money happily at Disney parks. It's in fact, I spent a whole lot of money at the Disney parks recently.
but they have great toys.
Oh my Lord. Okay, so the last trip to Disney World, or not Disney World, Disneyland, this last trip I took was freaking amazing. Only because my mom got me a hotel room. And she didn't get me just any old hotel room. She got me a room on the club level. Let me explain the club level. Okay. First of all, they come and take you from the registration area and take you upstairs to your own check-in area. So you don't have to deal with the masses. Okay? Then you check in and you can buy your passes right there at the desk, so you don't have to wait in line. Who wants to wait in line? Then they take you on a tour. The tour includes the club room. The club room. Oh, the club room. The club room, you can get wine, beer, and champagne at any time of day. All you have to do is ask one of the employees that is working there at the time, and they will bring it to you free. There is food all the time in the club room. All the time. There is breakfast served starting at 6:30 in the morning, and that goes till 10. And at 10:30, because, you know, they have to have time to clear the breakfast stuff. So at 10:30, they start bringing in the tea time stuff, which is sandwiches, chocolate-covered strawberries, scones, fruit, all kinds of things. Okay, so that's there from 10:30 to, I don't know, 4. Then at 4, they bring out other foods. I don't even know what they bring out. It's ridiculous. Like, you can't eat enough food. Then later in the evening, you can go out on their balcony that's in the club room and have your wine or champagne or beer or all 3 if you'd like, and watch the fireworks with an unobstructed view and the music piped in. Oh, and they also bring out a ridiculous amount of desserts. Cookies, chocolate mousse, vanilla pudding, all kinds of cake. There's things, there's food. Oh, and there's free soda and espresso and coffee and water and juice. All the time, like 24/7. And that's the club level.
So I'm gonna take it. You're a Disney fan?
A little bit.
Okay.
But we wanted to talk about pop culture a little bit.
Yes.
Can we talk about? Oh my god! Can we talk about Deadpool?
Oh yes, but no spoilers.
Oh, no spoilers! But oh my god! Okay, people of the world. I am not a comic book geek. I'm not. But when I started seeing the quote-unquote leaked trailers for Deadpool like 2.5 years ago, I was curious. So my husband and I started reading the comic books of Deadpool, and I fell in love with his character, like head over heels in love with his character. He is an anti-hero. He breaks the fourth wall. He uses horrible language. He is not a nice guy, like not. But he's known as the Merc with a Mouth. He's very sarcastic, which I am too. And I just fell in love with this character. And Ryan Reynolds was slated to play Deadpool. And I found out later I'm almost 100% positive that he's the one that leaked the footage. Because
I think he said that in an interview. He's the one that did.
Yeah, because what had happened was in Wolverine Origins, they brought out the character of Deadpool, but they sewed his mouth shut. Like, no. The thing that makes Deadpool amazing is he talks a lot and says stupid things all the time, and it's awesome. So they sewed his mouth shut. They made him totally not what he was as a character. But they casted Ryan Reynolds as him. And Ryan Reynolds has been a huge Deadpool fan for like ever. So he was super excited to play the character, and he was very upset with how they went about portraying him in Wolverine Origins. So they Fox started greenlighting Deadpool, and then they were like, well, I don't know, because this is a character that needs an R rating, and we're not sure. And so they kind of put the kibosh on it, but they had filmed a couple of scenes. Well, he leaked those scenes onto the internet about 2.5 years ago. And the interwebs went insane. Like, absolutely insane. I don't know anybody who didn't watch this and went, oh goodness, we need to see this movie. It has
Right.
to. And so when it started getting traction and Fox started getting hate mail, they started to relent and think maybe this should be made, but they didn't want to put up a lot of money. So freaking Ryan Reynolds put up his own money. He's one of the producers of the movie, and he's one of the lead producers of it. It's crazy. This is his baby. He wanted it made, and he worked really hard to get it done. So here's me, who found out about Deadpool, read about the character, learned the comic book side of him, absolutely, totally in love with his character. And now this movie is a reality. And 2 years later, like, I'm stupid excited about this. Now, here's the thing. When the movie Prometheus was announced, I got stupid excited for this movie. Because Alien and Aliens, like, that series is one of my most favorite series. I love it. I love it. I love it. So I got excited that they were doing a prequel, like, to bring it all up to speed. And then I went and saw the movie, and I think I cried during the movie because it was so horrible, awful, terrible. I was so disappointed in it. And I watched it again because I wanted to make sure that I just wasn't horrified by stupid stuff. No, it really was terrible. So I recently went and saw Deadpool. I saw it on Friday night. Yeah, Friday afternoon, we went and saw it. I could not be more pleased with how this movie turned out. Honestly.
No. It's amazing. I want to show you real quick. I just want to show you my favorite meme I've seen so far on this.
Oh yeah, do it.
Because I only got it on Facebook, it's going to be very hard for people to read. But it's Deadpool going, "How do you guys like my movie?" And Tony Stark's like, that was excessive weight even for me. And Steve Rogers is going, "So much language."
It's brilliant. It's so funny, and it's so freaking true too. Let me explain to people about Deadpool. He doesn't care about language. Like, that doesn't matter to him. Sex and anything to do with sex doesn't matter to him. Okay, he's very fond of that activity. And so here's the deal. I took my 15-year-old son to go see the movie. Don't judge me. Here's why. He's read the comics. He knows the character. I allow him to watch Game of Thrones with me. I edit stuff. I'm very careful about what I let him watch. He watches very mature things. So I was very okay with him coming to see Deadpool with us. My 12-year-old and 10-year-old girls did not come to see it with us. And they will not see this movie. They won't. I haven't even let them see Kingsman. I am certainly not going to let them see Deadpool. And even, I will say, even watching Deadpool, there were a couple moments, fleeting, but there were a couple moments where I was like, maybe not the wisest choice to bring my 15-year-old to this.
There was a few times in the theater myself, I'm like, I have my hands like this over my mouth. I'm like, I can't believe we went there. I'm like, oh my goodness.
The opening credits alone is worth the price of admission.
Oh yeah.
I'm just gonna say
best opening scenes I've seen in a long time. I mean, it was just beautifully done.
I was crying. I was laughing so hard. It was so good. It was so well done. And it stays so true to the character, which I was really worried that they weren't going to stay true to Deadpool. I'm very glad that it got an R rating, and it is a hard R rating. Please.
I cannot stress this enough, people. If you're watching this, you're already intelligent, so you really don't have to hear this. If you have not watched Deadpool yet, repeat after me. Deadpool, it's not for kids. Deadpool, it's not for kids. When I tell people this, I went to work the weekend after I saw this, and I found out that one of my co-worker's sons, who's 16, saw it twice. She didn't know what was in it. She didn't go. The kid's father and
how did that happen?
The kid's dad brought him once, and then he went with a group of older friends the original time. She didn't know what was in it. She just knew it was Deadpool. And when I started telling her some of the stuff that was in it, she's like, "My son saw that." And I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, it's a very hard rating. There was a lot, like I said, there was a lot of situations I'm like this on. But I had a couple like kids in my theater when I went that were under 12. And I'm sitting there going, hopefully either of these jokes go over their head, or you're going to have a lot of questions that need answering on the way home.
But it's not even the jokes, it's the visual. Because
there's a few things that if you understand, because there were some things that you knew were there, but they didn't show it on camera, like Happy International Women's Day. They didn't show it, but if you know,
it was highly implied.
It was highly, highly implied. But unless that joke went over their head, you now have to answer that kid's question. What did they mean by Happy International Women's Day? Because that is now one of my new favorite jokes. I don't care.
Yeah. There's a montage, I will just say, when Wade...
They like their holidays, is what we're going to say. They really like to celebrate holidays.
Wade meets Vanessa. There's some hard jokes in there. And then there's some visuals. That's all.
There's a lot of great, interesting visuals. Blake Lively is a lucky woman.
Really, though. Like, I'm highly jealous. You have no idea. I've been in love with Ryan Reynolds since I saw Van Wilder. It's bad. I have a serious obsession with him. But, okay, so here's the deal. If you have children, this is not your normal super hero, because he's not.
This is beyond Iron Man. Like, we're not talking even Iron Man, just kind
Iron Man is Captain America to Deadpool. Okay? Let's just...
Actually, I was going to say Iron Man is kind of close to Elmo compared to Deadpool.
Well, that would work too. But here's the deal. Read a freaking comic. Like, do yourself... There are comic book stores everywhere. Find one.
You can even find them online. I'm serious.
Get one comic book of Deadpool. That is all you need.
Heck, even go to YouTube and watch the not safe for work trailers.
and watch his promos. He has some promos for a few things that are hilarious. But can I just say, okay, Ryan Reynolds, okay, they've already greenlighted a sequel, which I can't stress enough how excited I am for.
Oh my goodness. I walked out and I'm sitting there going, I really hope, because this isn't a spoiler. If you've read the comics, you will completely understand who I'm talking about. I'm hoping they bring on Copycat or Domino.
either or both would be amazing.
Right?
Like,
Could you imagine?
seriously. No, read a comic. Like, seriously, bone up on Deadpool because he is really an amazing character. And yes, he's vulgar, and yes, he's crass, but he is like the best of the worst of us. He's just amazing, and I love him, and there needs to be more Deadpool movies. Oh, and when you go to see the movie, please, for the love of all that is holy, wait. Just wait. Just stay. Stay. Enjoy Salt and Pepper. Enjoy the song. Dance, sing. Do what you need to do. Make it all the way through the credits. Because there is an end credit scene that when it first popped up, before any character shows up, I verbally and very loudly went, no, no. And then characters showed up. Honestly, it's one of the best end credit scenes in any Marvel movie ever. It's clever. It's well executed. I can't say enough. Like, stay. Seriously, stay. You're going to feel like a dork. People are going to leave. Let them. They shouldn't, but let them. Stay. Enjoy the end credit scene because it's incredible. It's amazing. Yes? Am I wrong? Did you see the end credit scene?
I was with my niece, and we had to leave as soon.
Oh my God. Okay, when we're off air, I'm going to tell you.
Here's the thing. I already know what they are.
You already know?
Yeah.
Oh my God. It's the best. Like,
It is. It is.
Oh, it's so well done. Okay.
Yeah.
Suffice to say, leave your children at home with a babysitter if they need it. Go see Deadpool. Out of all the people I know, there's only been one person who has said it sucked. I discovered later that this person who has said that it sucked, and I'm sure he is watching and he knows, and I'm going to beat him for it. The reason he said it sucked is he does not like Ryan Reynolds. Now, here's my caveat. If you do not like Ryan Reynolds, if you do not like his brand of comedy, please abstain from going to see Deadpool. Like, save your money, go to something else later. Go to Civil War. But don't go see this because you will hate it. Don't hate the Deadpool.
No.
Don't do it because Deadpool is awesome. And Ryan Reynolds is the exact right person to play that character.
Oh yeah, exact. Oh, he was. It's a masterpiece. It really is.
Maximum effort. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say. I need to go see the movie again.
It's a beautiful love story. It's the best love story I've seen in so long.
Did you love the marketing for like take your girlfriend like it's a love story Valentine's Day thing? Oh my God, that was brilliant.
A love story. I understand it. It is. It's a love story. There just happens to be some violence and some crude humor in it, but it's a love story.
You know what I want to see more of? And this isn't spoiling the movie at all, but I would have liked to see how those, you'll know what I'm talking about, how those two became roommates.
You're right.
You have seen more of them interacting with one another as roommates.
Oh, even just the interaction that we got was beautiful. Oh my goodness, best thing ever.
Amazing.
That right there is a setup for a sitcom. Just saying. Right?
That is the Odd Couple just waiting to happen.
Oh, but it would have to be like on HBO or Showtime because Deadpool.
Netflix! Netflix should pick this up.
Netflix totally should. Oh my goodness. We could totally sell this idea to Ryan Reynolds.
$1 billion idea. Ryan Reynolds, We need to hashtag him.
Yes.
Okay, we need to like totally like Twitter this to him because he needs to know our love.
Last 20 minutes. Pay attention.
If he retweeted, okay, Ryan, if you're watching this, if you made it this far in the broadcast, and I'm gonna fangirl a little bit. First of all, I love you. Second of all, thank you for producing Deadpool, and thank you for leaking the footage so that Deadpool got made, because it was brilliant and I loved it, and I can't wait for it to be on Blu-ray so I can watch it like every day because it's amazing.
I'm waiting for the unrated version.
What?
You know there's going to be an unrated version because there was jokes taken out. Just saying.
So Ryan, it would be super awesome cool of you if you could retweet our broadcast, because it would be really, really cool. I'm fangirling. It's bad. Like, I can never meet Ryan Reynolds because I will turn into like a 12-year-old. It's terrible. But you made an awesome movie. You were perfect as the character. And we really want to promote it. We really want people to go see it. I want it to be extremely successful. It already is, but I want it to be more so. I can't wait for the sequel. Really, honestly, Art, I love you. You're amazing and adorable and perfect as Deadpool. And please keep making these movies because you were born to play this role. And
your butt looks fantastic in spandex.
Really, though, it does. Thank you.
Because we're got just like 3 minutes left. The next time we do this, we will be at CPAC.
And I can talk about politics again.
Oh, she's been storing. But because CPAC is coming up and I need to look my best. If you have made it this far into this broadcast and you know me, even if you don't even know me, I got to figure out what color or colors for this. So, putting it out there. Send in your suggestions. The only color I will not do to my hair is have it one shade, and that's green. I will put green in my hair, but not make it just green, because I find if I dye my whole head green, I believe I need to dress up as a Joker from Batman. So you can send that right there. Beautify wings.
Oh, and you know what? I just want to say one thing. Okay, so on one of our episodes, we kind of got berated a little bit by a Twitter follower who was upset about our Oscars So White episode. And I want to say this because I think this is really cool. She and I came to an agreement that I would watch a movie she suggested and she would watch a movie I suggested. And I did watch the movie she suggested, and we came to an agreement about why I didn't like it, which had nothing to do with the cast. It had to do with the format. And I suggested Kramer versus Kramer for her. The movie I had to watch was Carmen Jones. And I had seen it a long time ago, and I remembered vividly why I didn't like it, which is I don't like original formats being changed. It bothers me. So if you're going to use an opera, use the opera. Anyway. But I had her watch Kramer versus Kramer, and I was a little worried that she wasn't going to watch it. But recently she tweeted at me that she watched Kramer versus Kramer and that she thoroughly enjoyed it, and she was crying real tears, and she thought it was amazing. And so I just want to say there is common ground for people. We just need to talk to each other. We need to not be so angry with each other, and we just need to listen to what the other one has to say, because we might disagree with them on politics, but there is a coming together of entertainment and art that people can find common ground on. So just try, because we tried and it worked. Now, I'm not saying we're BFFs, but I'm saying that we came to an understanding, and I really, really love that. And I love that even if this show doesn't touch anybody else, I really love that that relationship came to be. So that's just my little thing. But if you do take issue with anything I say, go ahead and let me know at InDepthGirlism, because I do respond. I really do. I will talk to you about anything. So let us know.
I won't, but that's just because I'm Pope and I'm too busy arguing with Donald Trump right now. So sorry.
Well, and you're trying to be Vermin Supreme's VP.
Well, that too. I mean, my plate is just absolutely full, people.
It's too busy. But I can field questions for her. So go ahead and include both of us in, and I have time to go ahead and answer those questions. Let us know. And go see Deadpool.
Go see Deadpool if you're a consenting adult. So until next time, we'll see you from CPAC. Bye.
Yeah, bye.